Hi friends, it's Julia. I'm here to share a layout that I created using my December 2019 or January 2020 Scrap Stash or Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit. Now this is a kit that I originally put together in December to do a challenge from Christy's Beautiful Life from her YouTube channel. She was doing the 30 days of sketches in November 2019, and I really thought I wanted to play along for the month of December. So I built a stash kit and decided I was going to use all the same layouts as her and just do one layout a day. That worked fine for a little while until life, took over at my house and I wasn't able to keep up with her in getting the layouts completed in a timely manner. So they've carried over. So if you are inspired to create layouts, for challenges, I would encourage you to go over to her 30 days of sketches. The most recent one is November of 2019. Now, I think she said she's done, this was her fourth round of doing these. And so I just followed along with a sketch each day. And this sketch happens to be number 18, and it is by Karen McDonough. And so I love how this one turned out. It's a simple layout. There's not a lot to it, but it tells a story just based on what was going on that day. I am able to use papers that I have in my kit, and that's always a plus. All of the paper, all of the embellishments, everything, of course, is from my kit. But when you have stuff that's in there for a long time, like that border strip under the photos, that has been in my stash for a very long time, and I'm glad that I finally have been able to use it. I think it was the last piece off of a sticker sheet from close to my heart. And I tell you, if I like something, I hang on to it regardless of how old it might be. And that's one of those things with this kit. I have found I have tons of older product in here, which is fine. I want to use up all of it. So yeah, I split up my pieces of paper as I was coming into this and planning my sketches and planning my layouts. So I pulled my paper to the side and put it with the cardstock and the different pattern paper that I wanted to use, and I had already pulled the photos. So I put that all together. So I'm pulling from the stack of the paper as I'm going through, and I'm just having to go through and add embellishments, and it worked out pretty good. Now here on the layout, what I've been doing for my cardstock is I have a file that I usually take to retreats with me, and it has black and white craft and lots of neutral background papers in that. And so I have been pulling all of my extra cardstock from that container only because I have a need to live within the space that I have, and because I don't necessarily keep that in my travel bag, I keep it over by my paper storage. I feel like it's been overwhelming and I want to get it used up, get all that's in there used up so that I don't, next time I go to a crop someplace, I'm able to pull a whole new section of paper to take with me out of my color drawers. And so yeah, that's one of my goals, is getting a lot of that paper used. And believe me, in this whole layout process, I have done just that. I haven't used it all by far, but I have used a ton of it. So this is really giving you a good idea of how I go through my process. I go through and I just try out embellishments. A lot of times I'll have a really good idea of where I want things to be, like the background paper. I think initially on the original sketch there was mixed media back there, and I'm not really a very messy kind of girl, so I use pattern paper instead of mixed media. Put that back there, and yeah, so I know what papers I want to use, and certain embellishments and things, I know kind of where I want the placement when I use a sketch. That's the hard part for me sometimes, is finding where the clusters are going to look their nicest, or the placement of the photos in regards to where the clusters are going to be. And so that's what I'm just going here. I've got everything pretty much pre-planned where I want it to go. It's just a matter of finding the right embellishments. And you'll see as we go through that that's what I'm doing. I'm sorting through my different embellishments that I have and auditioning tons and tons of things out. And that's just the process that I go through. Yeah. So over to the right of the photos, I have an acetate piece that had some swirly bits to it, as well as a glittered paper Christmas tree and then an acrylic Christmas tree. So because I had 2 Christmas trees there, I felt the need to have a third. And so that's what I did. I pulled in that chipboard piece to give me that third. And so, yeah, I'm still going through different embellishments and stickers to see, is there anything else that I want to add? And not everything is glued down right now. I haven't glued things down. Here I'm adding my journal spot because, of course, you know, I did my journaling and I know where it's going to go. And I think that was based on where they had it in the sketch. And so now I'm just starting to tack things down. Excuse me. Yeah, the acrylic was a little bit hard to get down only because on the back side of that, it almost had, like on each little branch, a beveled area. And so it wasn't completely flat. And so I put wet adhesive down and I put that down there and it stayed for a good long while. And it still wasn't sticking. So I had to eventually go back and add more adhesive. So just as an FYI, if you have something that has that beveled edge to it and you use liquid glue, use a ton of it. Because, I mean, even with weighting it down, it still didn't stick very well. So yeah, I have pulled out different things that I have stamped. I have pulled out embellishment pieces from the different ephemera packs that I have added in. And here I'm adding some liquid adhesive to the back of these letters. And you'll see I have a clear ruler there. And that's just how I've always done my titles. I will put them down on the clear ruler, and then if I'm going to add adhesive or something to the back of them, I'll do that then, and then tack them down just how you saw me do it. And that's just my process of putting titles down. So proud of myself. I actually went through and cleaned off all of my rulers, got the Goo Gone out and cleaned those all off, and they look so much better now. Plus, things aren't sticking to them that, like when you put letters down and sometimes you go to take them off, it will stick. Yeah, I was having a bit of issue with that as well. You can see I broke off the that wood veneer word that says spirit, and it is one of those recollection pieces. I broke that off, and so I have to glue it back together. And so while I'm waiting for some of that glue to dry, I'm just adding some additional details down. I cut off the top of that journaling tag, and I still wanted to be able to get some use out of that, so I just moved it over to make a what looks like another tag behind the tab that I have at the top, where I'm going to put the year down for the photos. And you can see here, I'm going to pull that up, and I realize that it's not stuck down well, and I'm going to have to add some more glue and weight it down a little bit more. I put that little sticker there. Well, I made it a sticker by adding adhesive, but it's a little thing that I stamped out, and I'm just adding it to up there. It doesn't stay. I've tried using that all over the layout, and it just didn't work. So there you can see when I picked it up, it didn't adhere completely, and so I had to put a little more glue behind there when I glued it down. And it adhered down to the paper quite well. So yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching my layouts as I create these. I do appreciate you subscribing to my channel, or if you're just stopping by for a quick visit, I appreciate you being here. It's one of my passions to share what I do with other people and hopefully inspire other people to create layouts, not necessarily just like mine, but to encourage you to get into the stash that you have and create layouts however you see fit to create them. We buy all this product, and I I have a hard time watching a lot of the newer designers who pull tons and tons of new product, or they get new product in. I don't have those same, I don't have access to all that brand new stuff. I have access to a few new things, but not to a lot of it. Excuse me. And so I have a ton of older stash. And so I find it very helpful to watch other people get into their older stash and create layouts. And that's what I want to do here, is inspire you to get out that older stuff that you've kept because you love it and you want to get it used. My hope is that I inspire you to get that used up. And if you feel like you have been inspired, I would love it if you would flip me a thumbs up. It just lets me know that you're getting some enjoyment out of these layouts, and it's letting YouTube know that you're finding some joy in these layouts as well, in these videos. Anyway, guys, again, I want to say thank you for those who have been sticking around, and those who might be visiting for the first time, for just stopping by and watching a video. So I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.